breakfast earlier in the program. Let's stay with politics, and the federal government is trying to pressure the coalition to support its plan for a company tax cut. But the opposition won't vote for it because it's funded by the mining tax.
To discuss that, we're joined from Canberra by the Shadow Assistant Treasurer, Matthias Cormann. Senator Cormann, thanks for your time this morning.
Good morning, good to be here.
Your leader, Tony Abbott, has repeatedly gone on the record as saying the coalition supports company tax cuts. Why is he prepared to break this promise here?
Well, our position has been very clear for a long time now. That is, we are opposed to Labor's mining tax because it's a very bad tax which came out of a very bad process. And we've said for a long time now that we will not be supporting any of the promises that Labor has attached to its mining tax package. So on that basis, because Labor's company tax cut is actually not funded as part of its mining tax package, we have made clear for some time that we will not be supporting it.
But at the same time, I go back to that point. Tony Abbott and other senior coalition figures have repeatedly said they support company tax cuts. So what message do you therefore have this morning to your supporters in the business community and, importantly, the sizeable Liberal Party constituency in the small business sector?
And we do support company tax cuts. We took a policy on company tax cuts to the last election, and we have already stated a commitment to a modest company tax cut in the next election.
But you've got two very quick company tax cuts on the plate in front of you now. Why won't you support those two?
Because they're part of a very bad mining tax package. We've got to remember, the mining tax is a complex, distorting, unfair tax which will reduce our international competitiveness as an investment destination into Australia. And of course, the mining tax, it's bad economics. It's a tax on one sector of the economy, and it's a tax on success. And of course, not only that, it is actually the mining tax package actually leaves the budget worse off. Already now, we know that over the forward estimates, the government's mining tax package will leave the budget worse off to the tune of at least $4 billion, and that situation will get worse over time. We want to take a responsible course of action. We will be releasing our policy for company tax cuts in the lead up to the next election when we can put it forward as part of a fully costed, fully funded, fiscally responsible package.
Small businesses would be listening to you, Senator Cormann, particularly in your home state of Western Australia. Small businesses buffeted by the high Australian dollar, high interest rates, the possibility of rates going up even more. They don't want to hear the argument about the mining tax. They have been promised a cut in their company tax rates. They're not about to get one. And is it therefore right that they blame you and the Australian Greens for stymieing this measure in the Senate?
Well, actually, no. I mean, if the Labor Party was truly committed to the company tax cuts, as they are dishonestly asserting, they would have introduced that legislation together with the 11 mining tax bills that are currently before the Parliament. It is the Labor Party that decided not to include the company tax cuts, which they promised as part of the package of mining tax bills, presumably because they knew the Greens wouldn't be supporting it. At the end of the day, the Labor Party is in government with the Greens. If they can't get legislation which they have promised through the Parliament, that is really a matter for the Labor Party and the Greens. What we have said is that we are committed to lower taxes, we are committed to company tax cuts, but we are committed to deliver them in a fiscally responsible fashion. Businesses in Western Australia and businesses across Australia want us to deliver sound financial management. They want us to deliver responsible fiscal management, and they're not getting it from this government, and we have got a very clear course of action and we remain committed to it.
When the time comes, will the coalition be offering tax cuts similar to the ones being proposed here by the federal government?
Well, I mean, you'll have to wait and see the form that the company tax cuts will take that we will be promising the lead up to the next election. But what I can say is that our company tax cuts will be part of a fiscally responsible package. They will be fully funded, fully costed and fully funded. Unlike Labor's promised company tax cuts, which it seems they're unable to deliver, which would leave the budget worse off.
At the same time, though, of course, Senator Cormann, the coalition has committed to a slight rise in the company tax rate to fund your parental leave scheme. So how are you going to weigh up your two objectives here?
Well, if you go back to what we promised in the lead up to the last election, we did promise a paid parental leave scheme which was to be funded by a small levy on the biggest companies, and of course we also had promised a offsetting company tax cut which applied across the board. In the lead up to the next election, we will be delivering a modest company tax cut, and it will be part of a fully costed and fully funded, fiscally responsible package.
Senator Matthias Cormann from Canberra, thank you very much for your time this morning.
To be here.